Everybody gets headaches. For most of us, they're only an inconvenience. But for some, the pain is life-altering.
You build up a fear of the headache after a while. You get so worried you're going to wake up with another one the next morning.
Totally incapacitating, ruining my life.
Headaches make me literally feel at times that I want to kill myself.
Headache remains one of the most under-recognized and under-treated disabling disorders of modern mankind.
Headaches are an inescapable fact of life and can be caused by anything from stress to weather to noise.
For decades, doctors have been telling headache sufferers that the pain, it's all in their heads. But this year alone, 45 million Americans will seek treatments for headaches, and millions more will suffer in silence. I'm Kat Carney, and in the next hour, we'll venture beyond the drugstore to find out what causes headaches, and more importantly, what we can do to get rid of them. I know what I'm going to do to get rid of my headache. I'm getting out of here. This place is a madhouse.
We've all gotten one of those headaches, a pounding, throbbing pain that just stops you in your tracks. The most common type is the tension headache, which accounts for 90% of all headaches. We usually associate these headaches with noise, stress, and fatigue. Exactly what the wait staff experiences every day working at this busy restaurant.
There aren't too many noisier places than Durgan Park restaurants. Do you guys get headaches working here?
Yeah, very
Really?
bad.
How bad?
Bad. Every day, you have a little tension in the back of your head. You have to take aspirins, and the noise is so loud. There's just 18 waitresses at a time. We're all pushing and shoving in the kitchen. We're dropping dishes.
Well, I don't know. I'm looking around, and it just doesn't look that hard to me. I mean, I heard it was stressful, but it just doesn't seem that bad. I think I could do this.
This is what I tell everybody that thinks it's that easy, okay? You can have my apron, and you can take over. Then I can give you 2 of my Tylenols by 6.
Okay.
Okay? Here you go.
All right. I can do this.
Good luck to you.
So many orders, so many dirty dishes, so much noise. It's all stressing me out. The muscles in my head and neck are tightening, and a dull pain is developing on either side of my head. Okay, now I've got a tension-type headache. But what's really going on inside my head? The brain processes all of our sensations, yet ironically, it feels nothing. Instead, the pain we experience during a headache comes from the nerves that surround the brain. When these nerves become irritated, they fire off pain signals. This is a tension-type headache.
Who'd you think it was for? I quit. This job's giving me a headache. So we got a nice day for a bike ride here.
It's beautiful. Beautiful fall.
I'm biking with headache expert Dr. Gil Spearings to learn how common headaches are triggered. For me, it's exercise.
Yeah, when you exercise, it's good to keep up your water intake. Otherwise, you do get dehydrated. That makes you feel tired more easily. And makes you feel nauseated, and you also get a headache along with that.
Dehydration may lead to a slight shrinkage of the brain, which can pull on the nerves and cause a headache. To avoid this, make sure you drink plenty of water. There's also a more common exercise headache. When you work out vigorously, you may release a sudden surge of adrenaline. Adrenaline speeds up the heart and increases blood pressure. But this causes blood vessels to dilate and press on the nerves surrounding the brain, triggering a headache. To avoid this common exercise headache, make sure you warm up slowly.
You know, my mother claims that she gets headaches when the weather changes. She claims she can feel it coming on.
A lot of patients, headache patients, are more sensitive to weather change than the weatherman. Because of the people who have sensitive sinuses, when the weather changes, they pick up the change in barometric pressure, and that causes the headache as a result of that.
Oh, well, now, you mentioned sinuses, and I know a lot of times pollen can cause sinus headaches like that.
Oh, absolutely. If you're allergic to ragweed.
Allergens, viruses, and bacteria can also cause the membranes of the sinuses to swell. This swelling can press on nerves, sending a message of pain that translates into headache.
Let's go and have some ice cream and see what that does for headache.
Ice cream.
Thank you.
That's good.
Be careful not to swallow it too quickly.
How come?
You get brain freeze.
Get what?
Brain freeze?
You get an intense pain in the center of your forehead when you swallow the ice cream too quickly. You need to keep it in your mouth a little bit before you swallow it, otherwise it will cool down the back of your throat, and that will give you that particular sensation.
Wow, this has been a great day, Doctor. A walk in the park, bike ride, ice cream, and now wine. This is great.
Let's see how wine affects headache.
You mean like if I get drunk?
No, that would be a hangover headache. That comes the next morning.
When you've had a few too many, life can be miserable. Cotton mouth, nausea, and a pounding headache. Alcohol can block the hormonal mechanism which directs the kidneys to reabsorb water. The result? Your bladder goes into high gear. You get dehydrated, and a throbbing headache along with it. The remedy? Prevention is the simplest answer, but if it's too late for that, drink plenty of fluids. Water, sports drinks, and juices can all take the edge off, but it doesn't take excessive amounts of alcohol to cause headache.
Red wine in particular not only has alcohol in it, but a lot of other chemicals. Chemicals that are a result of fermentation of the skin of the grape.
During the process that turns grapes into wine, biologically active chemicals are formed, such as histamine and tyramine. In some people, these chemicals cause blood vessels to dilate and press on the nerves surrounding the brain. Yet another trigger for headache. Red wine, pollen, dehydration. They're just some of the over 30 triggers known to cause the aggravating pain of headaches.
You build up a fear of the headache after a while. You get so worried you're going to wake up with another one the next morning.
My body is telling me a message when I get a migraine. Basically, stop, slow down, start over. Don't do what I'm doing.
You get very depressed as soon as you feel the head pain coming on, and probably a bit anxious. And then it's often starts in one side and quickly builds, and before you know it, it's covered your entire head. So there's just a throbbing sensation, and you just want to lie down.
They are talking about migraines, a throbbing headache so severe, so painful, that it can knock you off your feet for up to 3 days at a time. Migraine headache afflicts 28 million Americans, or 1 in 4 households. Women suffer 3 times as often as men. Migraines can strike as often as twice a week.
Migraine's like a drum beat in your head. It's like a drum pounding, pounding, pounding.
A migraine is a train. It's just a throbbing, pressure, disabling headache.
It starts with a trigger, bright light, noise, irregular eating or sleeping habits, even foods like chocolate, peanut butter, and meats with sodium nitrates are just a few of the migraine headache triggers. Once triggered, a mysterious malfunction occurs deep inside the brain and causes the normal electrical activity of the brain to go haywire. This electrical disruption causes blood vessels to dilate, irritating a nerve called the trigeminal nerve. In about 20% of migraine sufferers, the irritation of the nerve causes them to experience the aura, a painless visual disturbance manifesting itself in the form of zigzagging lines